Hello and welcome to part 2 of color characteristics. In part 1, we talked about most of the color characteristics, and I just had a revelation that I can't wait to share with you for the very first time. I had this revelation this morning. It's major. In today's video, we're going to talk about the 4th characteristic, and that is hue. Okay, hue is usually the #1 thing beginners worry about, getting the perfect color mixed. All right, so hue is the actual color of a thing. Okay, so we're going to use different colors. We're going to do the rainbow. Okay, hue. Let's start with blue. Yellow plus blue equals green, so that's what I put in next. And then we get pure yellow next. Orange is going to be next. So next is red. Red plus blue. We're going back around the color wheel back towards blue now. We're going to mix a blue and a red for a purple. All right, so that's hue. That's the actual color of a thing, going from blue all the way around the color wheel back towards blue, because that's why we have the purple. This is the least important of all these characteristics we just talked about in terms of if you're a beginner, if you get your values right, you can paint anything accurately. For example, I painted a cat tutorial for my online students to show them that if you get your values right, your painting will look good. I painted a cat with 1 tube of watercolor paint. Now, granted, that watercolor paint granulates out to greens and blues, but all my students had to focus on in that tutorial was getting their values right. So this is the last thing you should worry about as a super beginner. You should be worried more about your values, and then after that, worry about cools versus warms, and then after that, saturated color versus grays. And then for super advanced artists, for the icing on the cake, as Richard McKinley said, values do all the hard work, color steals the glory. So mixing the perfect color, it should be the least of your concerns. So that's my little soapbox for the day. Hope it helped.